Senator Chastain? Senator Coleman? Senator Figures? Senator Gavan? Senator Hatcher? Senator Hovey? Senator Kelly? Senator Melson? Senator Roberts? Senator Sessions? Senator Weaver? Senator Gudger.
Here, and I see Senator Coleman walking up, so please add her to the roll. No worries, no worries. What's our full count?
11.
11, thank you. For everyone in the audience and everyone that's here today, we have 2 game plan bills for the economic incentives going forward on the first part of today. The second part, as you get into the third bill and after that, are sunset bills. I see the chairman of Sunset, Senator Barfoot, with us today, and we'll work through those as we go forward. Half of the sunset bills are on today, half of them are on our meeting tomorrow, so everyone knows. So, without further ado, let's move into SB 151, and that is the transparency bill. After the Department of Commerce and the governor's office worked together to roll this out, we went through this bill many times, and we have one small amendment that is in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to read that. And all this does is give, this particular amendment gives our joint economic development board for the House and the Senate a little bit more ways that they're able to get some information out that they need to, because all this does, it does not change the bill that you have read at all, except for this is an addition to. So at this time, I'd like to have a motion. We have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Senator Gavan.
I know a lot of work has gone into this bill, but with this amendment coming on at this point in time, this is a subject that's near and dear to me, given what I do for a living. So I'm not going to be able to support this at this time.
No worries. Thank you, Senator Gavan. Any further discussion? Senator Coleman.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding the amendment, because it is kind of lengthy. Can you give me just a little bit more explanation of the amendment itself?
First of all, yes, ma'am, I sure will. Or yes, Senator. First of all, transparency is always good when using public tax dollars or any other incentives. There is a board that was created from the House and from the Senate, legislators on both sides, that come together to meet with the Department of Commerce and anybody else that we come in to look at the vision of where economic development is going in the future. And from that, we wanted that particular board to have more information than what was going to be transparent on the website that is listed in the bill. And you have, I believe, 10 things that were going to be listed on the bill of estimated return on investment, how many jobs are estimated this particular investment is going to create. And as we went forward, we thought that that board, if they needed more information for the next 5 years, that they should be able to go in and get that information besides just what is already in the bill. That's all.
So then this is the follow-up question then. So several years ago, maybe you call it many years ago, I actually used to chair boards and commissions. And one of the things that I'm very proud of under my tenure was diversity. Actually, the various boards and commissions would give me a report on diversity. And so I'm just wondering about this, because again, I see here in the amendment, if I'm looking at the right thing, that there are new appointments to from the Speaker of the House, Pro Tem. I just want to know what the diversity looks like.
It is legislative. And I'm not sure as far as the diversity on that particular board, Senator Coleman. I will be more than happy to get that information to you. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Just let me know where it is, because remember the amendment is longer than the bill. while I was talking, right?
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, and it is the standard diversity language that we use. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Coleman. Senator Figures, please.
Mr. Chairman, wouldn't it have just been easier to do a substitute of the bill rather than an amendment? It would definitely be cleaner.
It could be. We are at this point where I think that we're able to, if it's okay, to move forward with the amendment, and then that way it'll be engrossed by the time we hit the floor so that we're able to pull it. That was my recommendation.
In the future?
In the future.
Did I recommend that you
Point
do that?
taken. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Having said that, we have a first and a second. All in favor? Or let's do a roll call vote on the amendment. So we're voting on the amendment.
Senator Butler, Senator Carnley, Senator Chastain, Senator Coleman,
Abstain.
Senator Figures, Senator Gavan, Senator Hatcher, Senator Hovey, Senator Kelly, Senator Melson, Senator Roberts, Senator Sessions, Senator Weaver, Senator Gudger.
Aye. I would like to work with the Department of Commerce on changing this just a little bit as we go forward to the floor. Sorry to do that, but obviously there's a little bit of headaches up here about this, but I'd like to talk to you, Director Canfield, Secretary Canfield, coming forward before it hits the floor. Thank you so much. But that passed for the amendment, 9-2, 2 abstentions. Now we're back on the bill as amended. We have a motion. We have a motion, Senator Hatcher. We have a second, Senator Chastain. Using previous role without objection, Senator Hatcher, is that okay? Is there any objection? Having none, so move. That would be a 9-2 vote also with 2 abstentions. Next is SB 165 from Senator Orr. I believe as we get going, I'm going to pass this amendment out that Senator Orr has also. Do this on. Senator Orr, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Members of the committee, this would allow us, or I say the state, to help the locals purchase. Well, first they would look at local sites and assess them, and then if they were a good potential site for a project, would allow the state to partner with the locals in a purchase situation of purchasing, helping the locals purchase a site. To be available for projects. The amendment that has been circulated would reduce the 200-acre minimum to 75 acres. And the reason for the amendment is there are a lot of places in our state that may not have large, wide open swaths of flat land that's available, and it's a little bit more hard to find 200 acres that are contiguous and flat and a good site. So this will help all geographical areas of the state by reducing that amount. And in conversations with Secretary Canfield, this 75 acres is about as low as we can go, but in conversations with others, it's acceptable amount of acres that will help open up all areas that it's certainly not as hard to find a 75-acre site as it is to find a 200-acre site that can participate.
Second.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Previous row.
Using previous roll without objection. And we're going to have a roll call vote then, if it's okay. Please go forward, clerk.
Senator Butler. Senator Conley. Senator Chastain. Senator Coleman. Senator Figures. Senator Gavan. Senator Hatcher. Senator Hovey. Senator Kelly. Senator Melson.
Aye.
Senator Roberts. Senator Sessions.
Aye.
Senator Weaver. Senator Gutcher.
Aye.
12.
The amendment passes 12-0. Now we're back on the bill, SB 165. We have a favorable report for final passage from Senator Figures. We have a second from Senator Hatcher, and discussion, I believe. Senator Hatcher?
Just a question, Senator, or that's a significant drop from 200 acres to 75. What's the, oh, it's the mountains. Okay, thank you, sir. That's good.
Any further discussion? Having none, can we use previous roll?
Mr.
Senator
Chair.
Figures? No, I'm sorry. Discussion?
Just a question, because
Senator
and I'm
Coleman?
probably going to ask the same question on all of them, because I asked on the last one about diversity. So the same thing with this board, or the various ones. There's several of them that are mentioned in here. Mr. Chairman, just asking the question about diversity.
All right.
This bill doesn't have a board that it creates. There is a board that's already in place that would make the ultimate decision. I believe it's the finance director and the commerce secretary, and I have that somewhere, Senator. I had it in an email.
I've got it, Senator Orr, if you'd like for
You
me
have it?
to.
Yeah, if you'll read off.
The governor,
Pro tem.
the chief of staff, commerce secretary, finance director, revenue commissioner, speaker, and the pro tem.
Okay, so no diversity.
There could be as we go forward in the future.
I think we might need to
Depends on
look at that in the future.
We'll be welcome to looking at different things as we go forward.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks,
Chair.
Senator Coleman. We have a first, we have a second. Any further discussion? Having none, all in favor, please say aye. All opposed? That also carries. Thank you, Senator
Thank you,
Orr.
Mr. Chairman.
Also, I'd like to say thank you to the Department of Commerce. I know y'all worked very hard on this with the governor's office. We appreciate both of those bills, and we're thankful to be able to pass those through the Senate today. We're looking forward to putting those on the floor. All right, as we move forward into the rest of this agenda, these are all sunset bills. Senator Barfoot, you would like to say anything before we get going on these? And if you would like to stand as we get going through here, you're more than welcome to as we get going, if that's all right. Are you going to represent everyone that's on here?
Yes, I am. Mr. Chairman, if I could.
Yes, sir, Senator Barfoot.
So pleased to be able to present to this committee sunset bills. As you know, we're tasked with in the Sunset Committee to review different boards and agencies and commissions that are in existence through the state of Alabama. And this body has an opportunity, Senate as well as the House, to take further action on those. So our Sunset Committee meets during the summertime, and we review various boards as they come up for normal rotation, or sometimes they are continued or put off and something less than a 4-year review. We have several laid out there in the package for you. I believe there are a total of 15 or 16. I think, Mr. Chairman, I think you had mentioned that tomorrow The other half of the other portion of those sunset bills will be examined tomorrow. So I appreciate the opportunity today. And if you'd like to go one by one, I'll be glad to do that. Or if you know.
We're going to go fast, but we're going to go one by one. I do have a few colleagues that came up to me on 3 of these particular bills and said they'd like to carry some of these over until tomorrow. Some of that was recently, as soon as I was up here right after caucus. But we'll start with HB 193, which is the State Licensing Board for General Contractors. As authority of the chairman, I'm going to be carrying that bill over till tomorrow. Next on the agenda is HB 198, Representative Shedd, the State Board of Licensure of Professional Engineers and Land Surveyors. It's a pleasure of the board. We have a motion to approve. We have a second. Any further discussion? Using previous roll, I assume?
Yes.
All in favor, please say aye. All opposed?
I'm a little bit confused about what we just did.
Just passed. The first bill we had, Senator Coleman, to answer your question, we carried that over till tomorrow because we're
Okay.
meeting again tomorrow.
I'm sorry. I thought you were getting ready to give us all 3 of them that you were carrying over. That's what.
Oh, no. I'm going to just do one at a time as we work our way through the list.
All right. And so may I go ahead and just make my statement right here about all of them?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My same question would be about diversity on all of those. And because we didn't get a chance to really talk about it on the other one, I will defer that. But those are going to be my questions on all of these bills that come up for sunset to make sure that we have that diversity language in there moving forward.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Senator Figures.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've sat on the Sunset Committee for the last at least 20 years, and that is one of the major things that we have tried to deal with. And as they have come up, I don't know if Mrs. Karen Smith is in here. She's the attorney for the Sunset Committee, but we've tried to add that language in every one of them over the years. So it should be, that should be. Many of the boards have a problem when they don't have people who are in those areas of expertise, so they can't. But we always bring it out to make sure that they make every effort and that they work in good faith. Also with the appointing authorities, that I even came up with new language that when there are various appointing authorities, that they would collaborate together to make sure that diversity was acknowledged. So I thank you for that.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you,
Mr. Chairman,
Senator
if I could
Figures.
just I thank Senator Figures for, being on that committee and working with me as the new committee chair on that. So thank you for your hard work over the summer and summers before.
All right, as we've gone forward, we are on number 2, HB 198. Did we make a motion or we have a motion, Senator Sessions, second, Senator Melson. Any further discussion? Using previous roll, I assume. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, that carries. 13-0, that's correct. Next is HB 199, Sunset Law for the Alabama Security Regulatory Board. By Representative Shedd as an authority and the chairman. I'm going to be carrying that bill over until tomorrow. Next is HB 200, Representative Shedd. That's the Alabama Historical Commission. What's the pleasure of the board or the committee? Favorable report. We have a second. Using previous roll, I would assume. Senator Figures. Any further discussion? Having none, all in favor, please say aye. All opposed? That carries. 13-0 vote. That passes. HB 201, Representative Underwood. This is a registration of architects. What's the pleasure of the committee? We have a first from Senator Gavan, second Senator Chastain. Any further discussion? Having none, all in favor, please say aye. All opposed? 13-0. That bill passes. HB 203 from Representative Pringle, examiners on admission to the state bar. So we have a motion to approve. We have a second. Using previous roll without objection. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed? That also carries. Next is HB 205 from Representative Rafferty. That is Sunset Law and Athletic Commission. I will be moving that over and carrying that over until tomorrow. So moving to the last bill on the agenda today is HB 207 by Representative Rafferty, the Alabama Board of Examiners for Landscape Architects. What's the pleasure of the committee? A motion by Senator Hatcher, second by Senator Sessions. Using previous roll, I assume. Senator Hatcher? All in favor, please say aye. All opposed? That also carries 13-0. And I believe we're adjourned. Thank you very much.